Hi kindergarten, today you're going to be doing some games. So the first one that we have looks like this. It's a board with a piece of paper on it. The board is a little bit magnetic, so leave the paper on here. And you are going to be putting these little foam magnetic tiles on the board to make this picture. You know what colors you're going to be doing because it's going to tell you right here. So anytime that you see a number 1, you're going to put your yellow tile on there. Anytime you're seeing a number 2, it's going to be pink, and so on and so forth. And you'll see your picture develop. You need to work as a team for this and keep it on here. So that's the first one. The second game that we have is called Cubits. So in Cubits, you have cards that have different patterns on them. And you will be working, maybe by yourself, but maybe with a partner. And you will be taking these little cubes and you will be turning them. They have different patterns on them on each side to match what you see on the card. So if I was doing this one, this is all a color. It's the black. So I'm going to turn all of these cubes to the solid side. Just like that. And then I would have a row of all white, so I'm going to change that. And then I start to get into the zigzag stuff. So I'm going to have to turn that one. And then this one. So this is how you're going to be recreating the pattern that you see over here on the card. And so on and so forth. So that is Cubits. That's the second one. The third game that we have is Ladybug Dominoes. So you're going to start with one card in the middle. Out of all these cards, it should be the one with the double sixes, I believe is the start one. I should have pulled it before I started you guys out. Well, we'll just pretend. So let's pretend that's the one. So here we go. If you have, and then you pass out all the extra cards. And all you have to do is match them. So I have a 1 here. I'm going to lay it on top like that. If I had this card, I can go over to either side. We can build on until all the cards have been used up. Once that has happened, shuffle them up and start again. So that is Ladybug Dominoes. All right, the next game that we have is called Spot It. Spot It, everybody's going to get a card. You're going to turn over the first one, turn over your card, and you're looking for matches that you have on your card and are on the center card. So, and then you call it by name. So I would have to say hand, and then if I'm the first one, I get that card. We get to turn the next one over to see if you have the next match. Again, if I have it, spider, but if somebody else calls it first, they get the card. You're going to go until there's no more cards left, and then the person with the most cards wins that game. When you're done, shuffle them, do it again. It's so much fun. One of my favorite games. All right, boys and girls, the last game that we have is called Look, Look. This is a doozy of a game. It's big. You have cards over here. So you're going to have to turn over a card. This one has these targets, these bullseyes on here. You need to find the bullseye that exactly matches this one. So if you said here, that's actually not the same one because it has magenta in there. So you'd have to keep looking for the one that exactly matches. It's over here. The first person to find it keeps the card. We also have cards like this where it's asking you to look over all these little creatures that are down here and try and find this little guy. So he's right here. He's probably on other things also. Here we have one that's a question mark. So it's asking you to look at the pictures, the little things that are in the pink frame and in the red frame and find 2 things that are the same, 2 little creatures. So you really have to look hard for them and make sure that they match. Of course, if you find it first, you get the card. Then they throw in some really interesting things. You're going to look for the number that is in the yellow frame. So it's a 3. and the things that are in the green frame, which is a 1. So it becomes math. 3 plus 1 equals, if you said 4 and you were first, you'd get this card. The last thing that they can do, this is not a letter I. It's a minus sign, so you're going to be subtracting. So you're going to look again, the number is 3 in the yellow frame. What number is in the orange frame? It's a 6. That's not a 9 because there's a line under it, which means if you were writing on a piece of paper, that's what was down. So 6 minus 3 is, if you were the first person to say 3, you would get that card. At the end of the game, the person with the most card wins. This one's a lot of fun, a lot of different things for you to do. Have fun.